Hey, what's going on, guys? This is LFG, and I can't believe I'm doing another one of these things again. For context, the last video that I had with my voice in it was over 2 years ago. So, I just decided to get back into Overwatch for a little bit. I've been having tons of fun with the game after I left it for about, I don't know, like 6 months. I'm able to come back to it with a more fresh perspective and more things I want to do with it in terms of content creation and shitposting. Although one may or may not necessarily have a higher weight than the other. So this video is basically just like a really interesting video, and first time for me doing this thing. It's a VOD review of a really interesting game I had on Moira. This is Masters level support gameplay for PlayStation 4, so not exactly the high octane Overwatch League style pro action that you guys are craving, but I still think it should be pretty good gameplay nevertheless. So I'll be going through what I could have done better and maybe give you guys some tips as to how you guys can improve your support gameplay. Okay, so the match begins and I immediately throw a damage orb because the enemies have to go towards the payload. That'll give me a lot of ultimate charge very quickly into the fight. One tip that I can really give to you guys is Moira. Other than stay alive, you really just want to build up your ult as quickly as possible and use it very liberally. It's not very high value, but it can provide a lot of utility for your team if you just use it over and over again, because it both heals your heals your allies and damages your enemies, all that it's caught in a pretty long-range beam. So now the tanks have just come up to the choke. The most important thing right here, I don't want to get hooked. So I'm just playing with my tanks, staying behind the Reinhardt shield, healing anyone that's just like that the Baptiste can't really get to, and we've decidedly won the fight already as our DPS take out their Moira and their enemy Sigma. So there we go. Like, I gotta protect the Ashe, who's just got pummeled by the other team. I'm already at 93% of my ult. The soldier's probably pressuring me. I maybe could have gotten the kill, but I probably didn't really want to risk it since we're in such a good position. So I'm coming up on my ult. We lost our Reinhardt, who should be coming back right as the tanks are coming up to re-engage. Okay, so I've got my ult ready. One thing I want to do before I use my ult, I always want to throw an orb and then animation cancel it into my coalescence immediately. That way it'll provide, like, whoever's either in front of me a lot of healing if I use the healing orb, or like it'll provide the enemies it'll deal extra damage to the enemies, so I can have a lot more value on like what I do and like get more for my money, so to speak. So again, we're in a pretty good position. I just tickled the Genji and I get credit for the kill. Gotta love Moira, right? No aim, no brain, just auto lock to win and pump healing piss all over your enemies. So enemy Moira is coming back up. Looks like we're about to re-engage again. I'm just pumping my healing piss all over my enemies. My biotic orb's about to come off cooldown, so just chuck that in there. Moira Coalescence comes out. I get a lot of ult charges from healing everyone and throwing a damage orb into the fray. Our Reinhardt is this close to dying, but our Baptiste comes in clutch with an immortality field. I throw another healing orb and get a whole crap ton of ult charge. I think the Genji Dragon Bladed and managed to take out 2 of our guys, but alright, this is one part where I definitely could have done better. We're winning the fight. Looks like I popped my Coalescence just to make sure the Genji really dies, but like my aim was really dumb. He had 1 tick left, and then he dashed out like before I could confirm the kill. So I was thinking that during the game that would probably come back to bite us. Junkrat pops his Riptire and takes out, I believe, a tank. Yes, he takes out Reinhardt. The other DPS takes out the Moira. This time I do finally manage to get the Genji, so no harm, no foul, right? I'm already halfway to what I think is my 3rd ult of the game. The soldier's pressuring me again, so I immediately throw an orb and then nope the fuck out of there with Fade. Trying to be a little bit cheeky, trying to get my healing resource back, because like you can only pump so much healing resource into enemies before it runs out as Moira. So you gotta damage your enemies. You have to find a good mix between damaging your enemies and just pumping healing into them. Now this is where things start to really go out. I use my Fade prematurely, and then the Reinhardt hammers down, and that's a clean team fight victory. Like, they absolutely wiped the floor with us. Everything's gone, so we did pretty well. We held that point up until the last couple of seconds. It's unfortunate that we had to surrender it. Now, unfortunately, our Roadhog's gonna get staggered. He's got the whole team on him. Now Zarya is going pretty charged up towards our Reinhardt. I just have to keep tickling her, so just to keep him back. Bat paps his immortality field. Genji's looking to fly in because Zarya just popped her grab. Because I used my Coalescence right there, Genji can't kill me in dash reset, so that was actually very valuable. Since you're kind of good at countering Genji if he's Dragon Blading, to To make sure he doesn't kill you, you can like just throw a healing orb or just pop Coalescence. Like as you saw right there, like that denied him like a dash reset. He probably could have killed like way more people. Up here, like I mean, I noticed soldiers up there, but I mean, I was being an idiot. So I heal my teammates, and now thinking that I'm safe, he's gone back to his team. But nope, I die because of the Helix Rockets, because I didn't bother to look up, because I'm very, very smart. And that mistake was very costly. The Moira's popping Coalescence, and my whole team's falling apart behind me, so I think even at one point my teammates were commenting, oh my god, our Moira keeps dying, or maybe that's later. But somehow I managed to tickle this Zarya to death. Biotic Orb does really, really strange things sometimes. So already we're down 2-0. Enemies already like right in the third point. I try and do some little simple geometry, hashtag Hanzo, but like I'm not able to bounce my orb correctly. Well, the orb does come back. I get hit with a fire strike because I have very potato reaction time, except I sometimes don't. Now our Ryan and Zarya are going aggressive, so I have to go aggressive with them, otherwise they're gonna die. So now this is the point where I did get very, very greedy. Ryan hits a pretty big shatter on the Zarya and the Lucio. They die. I want to follow up. I'm really close to killing the Moira, so I use my Fade, and then I think I fat-fingered something. I did not do a damage orb, and then Soldier gets me with the Helix Rocket again. So yeah, that was really, really greedy on my part. Don't do this. Seriously, don't do this. You're gonna tilt your team, and yeah, you don't want that. The team in competitive Overwatch, at least the rank I'm at, the team that tilts first is gonna lose. So like, I get back into the fight. Immediately when I pop my Coalescence, Junkrat pops his Riptire. We're like acting in perfect sync, except it might have just been coincidence. I once again get the Genji. I don't know why he hasn't switched off yet. It's because seemingly we're doing a pretty good job of tracking him. This time I do get a little greedy and manage to actually kill something and not die, which is, you know, a fucking incredible feat. So now we're just trying to hold it down for the last couple of minutes.
Understood.
Our McCree's doing very, very well. He kills that Moira. The tanks are coming in for a re-engage once again. Ryan's leading the charge. Alright. Zarya's taking a little bit of damage. Ryan throws his Fire Strike. I'm gonna throw my damage orb once again just to try and get something going here. I'm already halfway to mine. I lost track of how many Coalescence I got through this game. They pop the beat. Zarya pops grab, so I immediately just have to pump every single healing thing I can do, but then the entire enemy team pops their ults, so like I can't really do anything about that. So like it looks like they're gonna cap the point. I think I made a major mistake here, as did the rest of my team. We didn't immediately try and contest the point. So we're going in here. We're trying to be cheeky. I'm trying to be cheeky and throw a damage orb in there. Zarya gets a great Graviton, but then the enemy Ryan really smartly solo shatters me, and I was very, very salty about that, but it was honestly the best play because he just took out a really, really like valuable support because I was just pumping healing. So they cap it with 59 seconds to spare. So obviously not an ideal first round after holding them to the first like choke point with only like that much time left, and they ended up winning the game with that much time. So now it's on to the attack. So let's just cut ahead so we can skip to the attacking point. Now we're on the attacking side, and we seem to have a pretty good advantage because the enemy team only has 59 seconds on the clock left. Okay, so the defending team generally has a pretty good positioning since they're all on the high ground. They have an enemy soldier and a Torbjorn, so they're going to be able to pressure us with their hit scan weapons and possibly their turret if the Torb had it set up in a good position. So now they're just pressuring us, and I'm like trying to put pressure on the ones that are standing a little bit too close to the ledge, as well as keeping everyone topped off. I just get a huge amount of ult charge from there. The soldier's trying to pressure everyone, so I just tickled him a little bit, and then that'll at least force him off his healing station. Now the hog actually picks the soldier, so like we're up in the fight. Now I just throw my damage orb. Ryan goes for a really risky charge, so I have to really just keep him up. I use all of my healing resource, and I thought we were going to lose the fight from then because I didn't have anything. But luckily our Baptiste did a great job of keeping everyone topped up until I got my orb back, and then as soon as I got Coalescence, I just immediately popped it since I didn't have much healing resource, so I thought I just wanted to keep us in the fight. Luckily, our tanks and our other supports and everyone else on the team really, really just did a great job and just annihilated the enemy team, so we took the first point with little to no problems whatsoever. So the second point is going to prove to be a little bit harder, but I think we're going to be fine. So once again, like the second point, that balcony in the center of the screen right now where my Genji is, he's critical right now. that balcony is a really, really good spot for like hit scan heroes like Soldier and Widow. So you just tickle. I just tickled him, and then Genji finished him off. That's another generally good tip is Moira. Since she has a really, really long range beam, if the enemies are getting a little bit gutsy and standing way too close to the ledge on the high ground, you can just tickle them a little bit, and that'll let them get a little bit scared if they're not like super confident in their aim or they don't really have anyone to help them. Now our Hog and our Reaper just go really, really far in. They're really doing a good job at keeping the enemy team back, since like those heroes are really, really self-sufficient on their own, and they're just creating a lot of disruption and harassment. Especially the Hog with his self-heal and hooks. So I notice he's critical, so I just throw a healing orb in there just in case he can get some value out of it. So this fight is very, very weird for a lot of reasons. It starts out great, but it turns like really, really quickly. So Tor pops his ult. Lucio is about to pop his. The enemy Lucio is about to pop his, but like somehow we managed to tickle him and damage him, and then so he lost his sound barrier. So at that point, we really should have won the fight right then and there because we took out their Reinhardt, but then they responded in kind by taking out our own. I pop Coalescence in an attempt to take out the Zarya, but like she bubbles at the perfect time. So now we're getting pressured by everyone on the enemy team. I managed to take out the Zarya, and like I managed to fade back to the payload so I can get some healing right as resources arrive. Bat pops his Immortality Field, but then that point Soldier pops his Sights, and that's it. The Lucio switches to Brigitte. I can only assume that he was so salty from losing his sound barrier to a random Moira orb that he just like said, screw it, I'm gonna help our Reinhardt and play Brigitte. But point being, we lose the fight, but we don't have too far to go, and we have plenty of time to do it. So we're going to try and retake once again. Bap's trying to make his way to the high ground, I believe, while I will just go ahead and get with our Rhine. They have a Sigma now, so they're playing double barrier. Sigma throws his rock, but that doesn't get much value. Soldier, once again, I just tickle him. Reaper's going to take care of him. Rhine, the enemy Rhine pops a big shatter. I really like miss through that healing orb, but it's okay because our DPS is just really doing a lot of good cleanup. I ran out of healing resource because I was really focused on keeping everyone alive because we were really still in this fight. I'm at 93. I'm gonna pop Coalescence the instant that I can, and now I do, and like that'll guarantee a little bit of damage on the Sigma and a one fight. So like another close call. I accidentally stepped in Torb's Molten Core liquid. I don't know what else to call that, but we take the second point with, again, like a little bit more effort than the first one, but not too much. So one of the enemy DPS players switched to Doomfist, so on this third point, this is going to cause us quite a bit of problems, and I will freely admit that I definitely could have handled the situation a little bit better, especially in hindsight. So we're going in. Doomfist immediately rockets in. I did not do very well over here. I should have been healing our Sigma instead of pressuring everyone because Moira doesn't do that much damage. But our Sigma manages to actually secure a couple of kills with Gravitic Flux. Our Genji pops Blade and kills like one of their players. I kill the Doomfist, but then like I'm immediately surrounded by a Junkrat, so he hits a one-shot combo on me, and his damage is incredibly strong, if a little bit hard to direct sometimes, but he did it expertly. Junkrat gets a triple kill, not, casually. So this will be the first of many failed pushes on this round, but the game gets a little bit more interesting after that. So our Sigma, for some reason, decided to push in without us. I try and heal him, but he's going to get annihilated, as you can see there. I toss a healing orb, but it's to no avail. The enemy Sigma actually takes him out. Now, I believe Sigma pops his ult, and I think Brigitte's in rally too. We immediately lose our Ryan and our Baptiste, so I figure, alright, I'm just going to die because I can't fight them all on my own. So that was another failed push, another decisive team fight win by the red team. So let's go again, as our Reaper gets blown up.
I must reflect upon this.
And now, let's see how we're going to react to this. Doomfist has his ult, Ryan's got his ult, Moira's going to pop her ult soon, I'm thinking. But luckily we've got some good ults on our side. So I'm going to throw in a healing orb, pressure everyone that's like doing the thing. Bap pops a really good Immortality Field. Doomfist immediately springs up and sees that we're grouped up. Doomfist manages to kill our Reaper. That's not good because he's a heavy hitter. Doomfist thankfully misses the rocket punch. I get him, but immediately I didn't hear Junkrat pop his Riptire, and then it explodes on me, so we traded there. So, not good enough. We almost had that one, but yeah, that's not going to work, and the time is rapidly ticking down. If we don't come up with something quickly, we're going to end up losing the game. So, with almost no ults except for our DPS ults coming up, which is, they're actually very, very valuable now that I said that. Our tanks go to re-engage again. Ryan pressuring the front line, and then I think this is the point where Sigma pops his... Sigma's going to get his ult really, really quickly, and then he pops... Sigma's going to pop his ult, like, right now, which ends up being play of the game. Like, it's actually... Sigma and Reaper take out Doomfist and Sigma, respectively, and then that's it. Genji pops Blade, Sigma gets Brigitte, Moira's still on the cart. Now we're having a tickling match, but she uses her Fade, but I know where she's going to go. So we end up getting her. And now I think that's it. We just cruise to victory. Junkrat almost takes me out. He's still on the high ground, just spamming his little explosives. But to no avail. We cap it, and based on the new rules, we have a minute while the enemy team has 69 seconds. Nice. So that was our attack. It looks like we're tied. So let's see what happens next. So now we're attacking again, but if you look to the upper left, we're only a team of 5. Yeah. So one of our teammates left in the in-between rounds, and it was our Baptiste. So now we're only playing with one support, which means it's solely on me to keep our team healed up and alive and, you know, not dead. So this is going to be a really fast, frenetic fight. We're already 20 seconds in. We've only made a little bit of progress and haven't really gotten any picks. I've already run out of healing resource because the enemy team is pressuring us so hard with, you know, them being 6 and we're down to 5. Roadhog falls in battle because of the Sigma and the Zenyatta. I can only imagine that the Zenyatta discorded his ass. But now I think we pretty much resign to the fact that, like, we lost. I couldn't heal the Reaper because I'm trying to keep our Orisa alive. Luckily he managed to survive, but it's not really gonna do too much. I think he was trying to go for like a cheeky pick-off and just like shoot somebody in the back. But he tries to do a shadow step and then the Junkrat immediately blows him up. So, with 3 seconds left, no one's going to reach the card in time. And, yeah, I was feeling pretty dumbfounded and salty at this point because we held the enemy team even. But don't worry, it gets better. Now, at this point in the game, it's like we're just preparing to sing our swan song. Like, we only pushed the cart that far, and like they've got a full team of 6 and they're ready to do it. They have about as much time as we did, but we're down 5-6. So we've got a Bastion comp and we're just trying to do some major cheese. In hindsight, I probably should have played Mercy for the damage boost, but I figured that Moira would be way better on defense because if one of us dies, like, it'll be risky going in for the res, and burst healing will probably prove more beneficial. So now they're already almost there. It's looking like this is about to be it. I probably go in a little bit too aggressive there, but I almost die for it. So, and then I eventually did die. But like by some miracle, I managed to throw a healing orb, and our DPS and tanks clean up the fight. So like one of my teammates was shouting over the comms, "Oh my God, we lost our Moira!" And I thought that was it too. I was really, really close to my ultimate. One of our tanks actually switches to Winston just to get back to the point quickly. So this is going to be the last fight. It's all or nothing. We're thinking, oh my God, can we actually hold the line? Bastion immediately pops his tank ultimate to try and get some picks. The tanks are about to re-engage. Orisa just used Fortify. Doomfist rockets in. Luckily, he didn't see me and rocket punches our frontline tanks. I pop Coalescence. Everything's going crazy. We get the first pick of the fight. Now the fight's even. Winston's about to die. Tracer's behind me harassing me. I think she's down to like 1 HP because my other teammates just clipped her a little bit. Sigma pops his ult. I immediately have to fade out so I don't die. Tracer's won. Now she's done. Nice rhymes. And now the rest, Reaper pops his ult, and yeah, that was one of the craziest things I've ever seen. I died as the sole support, but then somehow I threw a healing orb in time, and that just might have kept them alive long enough in order to secure the fight. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much all I have, guys. Like, don't give up even if you're facing a 5v6, and, yeah, that's it. I'll probably be doing more VOD reviews like this in the future, so maybe I'll open up to viewer-submitted VOD reviews if that's something that you guys are interested in. Let me know in the comments. And so, yeah, that's it. Until next time, this is LFG saying adios.